Good morning, everyone. How are we? Crazy here. I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all feeling good. There's some healing crisis going around. It must be contagious, I hope. So I want to proceed on because I'm hoping this week, now there's still several videos not up yet. Chris has been slamming, and so hopefully today we'll get a bunch of videos up, so by the time you hear this it's going to be old news. But I might have him even put this up first because I want to address this one fella, and obviously you know I'm going to address this, and I need to. This is Mr. Stone. I'll call him Mr. Stone, kind of fitting for his consciousness, I think, here. But I want to go over this because this is what man is fighting, and this individual is these are souls that get lost and caught up in the herd, and unfortunately, you know, it's at this level, and after a while, you know, it's kind of disgusting to see these kind of people. Because they're just they're souls that have got lost, they're closed-minded, they don't have a clue, they make these statements, they have no idea. So I want to go over what he said, and I appreciate it, Mr. Stone, that you did communicate with this, but you're a little off in what you're saying here. And it comes from ignorance, and no question. I mean, I understand. This has to be someone in the medical field, because or someone that's just really unaware, because this is a kind of medical consciousness that comes forth. It's kind of like the IRS. Yes, you owe taxes, even if you're a private sector citizen, and they know better. You know, this is people that, it's just this whole cover-up. And this is the first statement here. Leukemia is easy to cure in a child. Wow, this guy is a dangerous nut. Well, I've been called a lot of things, and I like nuts, and nut'll be okay with me. The thing is here, leukemia is, in relationship to the rest of the cancers, some of the easier ones to deal with, and especially in the children. So I'm going to make you an offer, Mr. Stone. I'm going to show you that I'm not so nuts as you think. I want you to bring me, especially if you're in the medical community, I want you to bring me 10 children with leukemia at all levels of leukemia, that have not entered the medical profession yet, have not entered chemo or radiation. Then I want you to bring me 10 more children that have entered, like St. Jude's, somewhere where they're on active chemo and radiation. And I want to show you, we're going to film these, and I'm going to show you what can be done. You willing to do that? And I'll show you. We just don't make blank statements here. We're going to show you. And the other statement that you made, Mr. Stone, chemo is the only legitimate way to fight cancer. Oh my God. And then he says this guy is a quack. You know, this is a sad thing. You either haven't lost enough friends or spouses or loved ones. You obviously are extremely ignorant of the truth. And or you're a pharmaceutical company trying to cover your butt, because one day soon it will be a criminal offense to administer chemo, and we're going to make sure of it, because you cannot administer Drano, which is the classic nursing name for chemo. So you're saying me Drano is the only legitimate way to fight cancer. You don't even know what causes cancer, my friend, I can tell you that. So these are the kind of sad things, guys, that you have to put up with. All you guys on here know people like this, of course. This guy is, or gal, is really sleeping and very unaware of the dangerous and to me, criminal practice of the use of chemotherapy on anybody. And now they're so blatantly using it on eczema, psoriasis. They have crossed the border. They see, this is Lion Man. I mean, I know what you think about spirituality. I do too, you know. But at the same time, you know, if you allow criminals to get away with things, and that's what's happened. We've allowed medical doctors to use chemo without sanctions and without criminal prosecution. So judges, and so the brainwashing continues. Shannon was just bringing me this information on who worked for Monsanto, who works for Monsanto, who also now is in the government. And it is an unreal list of people that are involved in the U.S. federal government that Obama hired on from Monsanto. If that doesn't make you want to puke, I don't know what does. You know, this criminal activity of the federal government is going to cease. It's just reaching a boiling point in this country. The feds obviously understand they're pushing the envelope, but they can't seem to stop pushing it, you know. And so it's just a sad thing here. But Mr. Stone, I don't know what to tell you. If you think we're nuts and everything, then please, you know, leave the site. Obviously, go your own way. Go take some chemo for the fun of it. You know, if it's that curative you think, go have some chemo for the day and enjoy the juice. You act as if chemo is Jesus juice. It's just, whoa, way out of line here. So kind of sad, but you can think whatever you want, Mr. Stone. We don't really care what you think, but the deal is on. Bring me 20 babies, 20 children. They can be adults too, but bring me 20 of them, 10 before and 10 after, and I'll show you. If you can find 10 that survived radiation and chemo. All right, let's go on and tear on down this here. Sorry you all had to hear that, but I know most of you are aware of people just like Mr. Stone here, or Miss Stone, whichever one that applies, and that kind of ignorance. You know, it's an ignorance that man can't afford to have any longer, because the decay of the genetics of cells, the genetic weaknesses of cells, is at a staggering level. And the AMA is so far out of its league to help these children that and the arrogance of the AMA, all of that involved is just making for a very sick issue that's taken place here. You know, we've allowed the medical doctors' egos to go soaring in worlds where no one goes, and that's been the problem. So the arrogance has turned into a form of power, which has turned into a form of suppression, and the term of brainwashing people like Mr. Stone. Even if he was a medical doctor, he'd be totally brainwashed. Sad stuff. I mean, CW is going to be back on the line here. She wants to really get some stuff off her chest here about cancer. She is back at her oncologist, and she's going to paint you another picture that this gentleman or lady isn't really telling people. You see, it's one thing to hear things like chemos, Jesus juice, and all this. It's another to walk into a place where you're giving chemo is being administering and take a look at the people and talk to the people. They're not like the natural health people. Natural health people are robust. These people are being killed, slaughtered, and for the sake of cancer. You know, like cancer, some mysterious phantom disease. I mean, this is the kind of stupidity that the light bearers, all of us, are going to change. It's that simple. So the offer is out to the man, bring me the babies, let's film them, and I'll show you guys firsthand what can take place. And we'll bring some mothers on here that lost babies from leukemia from chemo. I showed you one time. I don't know if I can show it. I'll have to get permission from the mom. What happened to this 10-year-old is regurgitating. It makes you sick to your stomach, Mr. or Mrs. Stone. So you can go console those people all you want. Convince them chemo was good for a child even though it ravished and killed them. You do that. I want to be there when you do that. Okay, now this is from Peace Bearer. And so peace be with you all. I tell you, I get riled up sometimes, but you know, people like this, I don't even have the time to think about. And it's just sad because it's like, you think this, our consciousness would grow up, so to speak. Progress. How's the teeth, man? This is Peace Bearer. He's working at night. Let's see. Also extreme pain in his left jaw. You're going through some major healing crisis up here in the face area. And you keep hanging in there, you know. You might pop up on some parathyroid stuff while you're detoxifying to see if you can't accelerate the repair of those areas. So you guys are doing real well in your detoxes. Now some of you are getting into some really strong detoxes, you know, and I love it because you know your body's getting well. You're moving your body down the road to Wellville. So I'm so proud of you guys, it's not even funny. Keep the lights always shining because the darkness that the people like Mr. Stone is perpetuating is going to be stopped. because there's no other way for a survival of the species to take place. And that's just, I mean, I really don't care. I'm just a soul that's here giving, imparting some education on some spiritual laws, and then I'm off. And so, but if this planet wants to be a happy, healthy planet, then man has to radically wake up, obviously, and most of you already know that. JG, well said here, my friend, to HD Biker. Well said, well said. David Wood, Mr. Indiana Banana. Don't allopathic bloodletters bleed bleed George Washington to death? What was that? What the heck was that these bloodletters bled him out? I mean, that's bizarre. And that wasn't that long ago. Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Stone or Miss Stone, this is the allopathic. You answer that for Indiana Banana, would you? I think at the time that was probably their form of chemo. Bloodletting. If you survive it, you live. Let's see. This is from D Biker here, and I thought this was important. Began watching the vids from your first one and proceeding to watch them all. Been trying to eat mostly fruit and drinking alkaline water from a portable ionizer. My body began getting boil-like sores, and my right ankle first turned red and now leaks a clear liquid which burns like it's been scalded. Any areas on what I should do? Ideas. Thanks in advance for any advice. Oh, sure, man. I appreciate you watching the channel. I really do. And I appreciate your questions, and I appreciate you going through your detoxes. I'm walking here with you guys, so I'm not going anywhere yet. But I'll send you a site to go to if you really want to get grossed out on what tumors are full of and stuff. I mean, there is a gross site. Oh, man. On pimples. I think it's something about cysts. I forget the name of the channel, but it's about popping cysts and stuff. And oh my! For those that want to get totally grossed, that's sewage. That isn't blood coming out of these. It's sewage, nasty sewage, acid, stinky, putrefied sewage. Oh, but we could add more chemo in there and add it to the mix. Anyway. Yeah, my friend, this is possible to get boils coming out. I mean, but it does show that your kidneys aren't filtering, or they wouldn't be so dramatic out the skin. So this is about improper filtration from the kidneys, and this is real important. We were mapping that out, allopathic thinking, and of course they totally exclude the kidneys when it comes to the lymph system, basically. And so that theory doesn't hold any water at all. But anyway, expect something like that, boils opening up, that oozing out the right ankle, that's nasty. That's your lymph system. That clear fluid like that, like a little lipid fluid, that's your lymph fluids right there. So it just really confirms that your kidneys aren't filtering, you're detoxifying. This is why I think I like the herbs so much, is because you can really go after the kidneys with them, where your fruits and your veggies are going to take a while. You get real aggressive with the herbs, and you can get your kidneys filtering a lot quicker. Some of you have been raw foodists for a lot of years and still haven't reached anything like you're starting to now. And look at the difference that is of even a common raw food diet now. And yet when you kick it up with the fruits and the herbs, the tremendous difference it makes. That's what I found in my practice through the years. And it's just fantastic what you can do with leukemias and anything. Although, keep in mind this, and Mrs. Stone, our focus is totally about the health of the body. You guys want to treat and use these high acidic Drano formulas. What's coming down your road isn't going to be good, because this will be a criminal offense one of these days. I've had plenty of oncologists admit to that.